Alright, so we've got our roller down there, it's worked in, it's ready to go. We've done our patch, it's now tacked off. We can paint over that when we get the rest cut in. So we're ready to go. We've sanded the wall, we've washed the wall where it needed to. We've done our cornice, we've filled our skirting, we're ready to go. So here we go, undercoat our patches. So, as I said, starting to dry, even though we've wet that, it's already starting to dry up here. So what we're going to do, so I'm going to get some paint right up at the top, but not on the stainless steel bit there. We don't want to get up on the ferrule of the brush. You want to wipe that out nicely, again using one side of the pot so we keep our nice new brush right to go. So I'm just working some paint into the brush. But you're paid for all these bristles. I used to get told when I was an apprentice, you may as well use them. So there's paint all the way charged through the brush, and as we use the brush more, it'll get more loaded with paint. Often I get an apprentice come to me and say, how come you're painting so much further in weatherboards than I can? I give them my brush, and they go, your brush is going so much better. It's the same brush. They just haven't loaded the middle of the brush with paint. So we don't want it overloaded. We want it all up in there charged up, and then we wipe it down to the bristles. And you can see there it's fully loaded at the end of the bristles. And as we paint, as we've said before, as we paint, the action of painting pulls the paint down to the end of the bristle. Hopefully that makes some sense to you. So hang on to your paint, go up on your ladder. Now I can paint either handed and either way. You may find it better to come this way, to go to your right. I'm going over to my left now. So we'll see how we go. And don't forget, you can use either hand. You should be able to cut in either way, left hand or right handed, backwards or forwards. It lets you go a lot further each time you put the ladder there. But when you're starting off, try not to use a little brush, as I've said before. Little brushes hold a little bit of paint, and you'll start doing this. You'll get this across the top of your job. Nice brush, full of paint, it's very important. Okay, without going too silly. If you go much bigger than this, you will have trouble. Across the top we'll go. We look at the bottom edge, just look at the bottom edge right in that corner there. So once we look in right into that corner, we want to drag the paint along nicely along that bottom corner. You can see just how easy it is. Bring the brush back. Now if you look at that, I've stopped and started a few times. Because I'm going to be quicker than you guys, even though I'm slowing up to talk to you, I'm going to lean back, whereas you can move your step ladder and feel comfortable. Just come back to your corner. We would normally just bring it back and fade it, but for this exercise I'm going to stop in the corner. Okay. We bring it along. Oh, beautiful. Now what we're going to do is paint it just down the wall a little bit. Just so that you're not rolling up and we try not to bump the corners. We can always fix it, but we try not to. So we bring it down just a little bit more than we brought the cornice out. And then I want you to go along in one motion, get about 1 metre or 3 foot. It's nice and straight, there's no swirls in it, and we've evened out that paint. Okay? Later on I'll show you how to do feature walls with tape to get you to make them look as crisp as I can do them. But at this stage, let's get the basics of just painting the walls. I'm going to get you on the move along again. You see how quickly we've done that? We've done nearly half a wall. So I'm just going to move just to here, and we're going to go again. Once we get to the corner, quickly run down. The skirtings are easy because we are painting them. If you weren't going to paint them, you'd definitely tape them. Because we're going to paint them here, that's fine. So again, I run along there. You see I haven't got enough paint on my brush because I had to stop too quickly. Load him up again, start away, start just below it, and wiggle the paint up. Get your bristles where you want them, and along you go. Okay, now I'll stay just down off this one on this end a little bit. I'm going to straighten it up. Don't be too worried on your first coat. Okay, I'll stay down just a little bit there to show you can do that. You can straighten that up the second coat. You get 2 goes at it. You don't want to make it perfect the first go. You get 2 goes, take your time. That way you can get the paint on the first one quicker, take your time on the second one. Just don't bump the corners. If you can stay off your corners, the bottom edge of your cornice, the ceiling, your walls start on the flat surface, okay? So I see too many times people paint the bottom edge of their ceiling with their cornice. That looks terrible, guys. Try and do it professional. That's one telltale when I walk into a house, I'm going to buy it or look at it for a friend. One telltale I look at and say, has this been painted professionally or has this been painted by the homeowner? Really important stuff, that, especially if you're doing it to sell a rental or increase value to your house. Now we're going to go up to the corner. See me wiggling my brush? You can see the paint starting to come to the end of the bristle. Got into that corner there. I'm going to come back into the paint I've done. I'm going to stop going forward and I'm going to start coming backwards. You can hear how dry it is. Okay, so we've done up there. Now I'm going to run down this corner. And as I do, you'll notice that I'm just feathering it around the corner. You've got to remember, no fatty edges. You can just run your brush, even if you're not painting that wall in that colour, before you paint it, just run it around like that. You're going to do a feature where you tape back over this anyway, okay? So now I've got that too high, we need to bring it down to this level. So we're going to bring it down nicely. You can see I'm holding my brush however it feels comfortable. Try not to get a death grip. If you get a death grip, your hands will really get sore. Hold your brush light. You'll often see a painter flicking his brush around in his hand or juggling it around. It's just light, hold it light. We use a grip similar to that. Use the long handle in your hand, helps you steady the brush. And away you go. You can always grab it down here, but try not, it's like a carpenter saying don't choke your hammer. You've paid for the handle. You don't have to use it all. But it is handy if you're right out and you're trying to reach somewhere, you can grab the end of the brush. Grab it down there, it feels like a pencil or something in your hands, and after a while it feels really comfortable. They're made very ergonomically and they feel good in your hand. I'm going to jump down there, we're going to run down the sides, across the bottom, and then we'll show you how to roll. Here we go.